Okay, so I'm going to tell you why the iPad Air 2 is one of the best deals for 2022. And even though Apple dropped support for it for iOS 16 just actually yesterday, this is still one of the best deals that you can buy. And I will show you why. So yeah, let's get started with this video. This is one of the best deals of iPads right now because the price will go down so much because it's not supported anymore, and because of that, it's a great deal. It's actually a great deal right now. You can buy this for about 100 to 150 bucks. It's a great deal, so I'm going to show you why. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the display, and the display is actually really good. It's 9.7 inches, and the advantage of this display compared to the newer iPad displays, such as the budget iPad Air, I think it's 7th or 8th generation, is that this one is laminated. So this is a laminated display, which means there's almost like a covering of the display. Oh, and there is my cat in the back of the video. But basically, it's almost like there's a covering for the display, so there's less glare. And hello, welcome to the video, Steven. So basically, yeah, this is a really good display, really bright. I want to actually show you how bright it gets. Okay, Steven, thank you for your contribution to this video. So, basically, this is how bright it gets, and that's really bright. I mean, you can't really tell, but in some outdoor situations, you can use this basically no problem. If you're in direct sunlight, maybe it won't be the best, but if you're like completely bright out, if it's not in the middle of the day, any other time of the day will be completely fine. This can get up pretty high in nits. I'm not sure how many nits exactly, but I'll put it on the screen right now. And it's really impressive though. How impressive, like considering this iPad was made all the way back in 2014, like this is a really impressive display, and is still, in my opinion, better than displays on the iPad 8 or iPad 7th generation. So yeah, really impressive right there. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the performance, and the performance is actually surprisingly good for a 8-year device. I mean, it's really impressive. Yeah, sure, there's definitely some problems overall with the performance. I mean, it's not it's not completely bug free. There's still some problems, but I meant in terms of that's general across all iPhones. If one iPad has a bug, it's usually across all iPads or all iPhones. But in terms of the actual performance, it runs pretty good. Like if I go into settings, it went like really fast. It loaded it up really fast. Obviously that's a much easier application, but even like something like Minecraft doesn't take that long. Like sure, it takes a little while, and I'm not gonna load the whole entire thing. It takes about 30 seconds, I'll just say. It's not that bad. Like compared to the newer iPads that we have, the iPad 8 and the iPad 7, things like that, those are actually, I mean, only a little bit faster. They're not that much faster. Like we can open up tons of different apps, and another thing to mention, the RAM management. So there is 2 gigabytes of RAM, and I have noticed that there has been some problems with the RAM management. So right now we have a couple of things open. So if we go back into settings, it will load that back up. But if we go back into Minecraft, it's gonna have to reload. So that's just kind of an example. But with like simpler applications, things like that, it will do completely fine. So anyways, the next thing that I want to bring up is basically the accessories that you can use. So this is almost like a computer, and a really cheap one too. Like I said, only between 100 to 150 bucks is the price right now, approximately. And honestly, that's a great price. And if you just throw on some accessories, so for example, I got this keyboard for about $8 on Mercari. It's an Anker keyboard, and it's really great. The only thing is that the keys are a little bit, like if you can see right there, the keys are a little bit too small, but it's honestly, compared to like the Magic Keyboard, I would actually much rather have this, because this you can actually like firmly type on. It's not like these really hard to press keys. It's not like these weird it feels like a normal keyboard is what I'm saying, just slightly smaller. really good. Another thing is that I have this mouse right here. Any kind of Bluetooth mouse works on the iPads, and it's really good too. So as you can see, I'm scrolling through here. You can just, scroll through the thing. You can web surf, things like that. I'll actually show you that right now. So going into Google Docs right now, this is an example. You can use the full web browsing, like you don't have to get the app. But basically you can type with the keyboard and it's really great. It's just a lot easier if you get a keyboard and a mouse, like to use this iPad. It's just so much easier, acts like a computer. So let's just do a little bit of a typing test here. Obviously, I know this doesn't have to really, it does have to do with the iPad Air 2, but it's an accessory. But still, I just want to show you if you guys did want to get this. So type in, hey, this is a test. How are you? Not too bad, not bad at all. Really good. You can also do a ton of other things, like you can do, let's see, you can do Command A, Commands all, delete, really cool. But yeah, it's honestly, it's really, really great. Here, I'll just do another typing test just to see up close, and it types really fast. So this is like my fastest typing speed that I can do on here. Not too bad, not bad at all. Really good, really solid. Honestly, no complaints with this $8 keyboard. Now, speaking of the mouse, this mouse I just got from Amazon. Basically, it's a really good mouse. It's a typical mouse, obviously, but it actually has some LEDs and stuff like that. That's pretty nice. I got it for about $10. It's pretty great. And honestly, definitely recommend this. But basically, any kind of wireless mouse, even if you have one laying at home, is really helpful because you can scroll through the UI. You can close out tabs, things like that. It's really, really, really helpful. Sometimes you have to use. Sometimes you do have to use like maybe some of the keys. So if you wanted to go, into like. If you wanted to go home or something like that, either you would have to press the home button or use the keys, but the mouse is generally really helpful for scrolling around the UI. And anyways, enough with the accessories. Okay, so another point that I want to mention is basically the camera and the camera quality and how you can use this for zoom and things like that. This is really helpful because generally, this is actually a much better webcam than anything that you would get from like a Chromebook or one of those old MacBooks that you can find for pretty cheap. This is actually a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, which obviously it's not great compared to most iPhones or anything these days, but it's actually a lot better than the 0.3 or 0.7 megapixels that you get from the MacBooks or the Chromebooks or anything like that. So I just want to show you some examples. So let's just, as you can see, it's just me using the mouse right now, but you can click like different areas to actually focus with the mouse, which is kind of cool. Obviously, it's not the best because I'm not in the best lighting situation, but when you're basically when you're using this for Zoom or anything like that, this is actually not bad at all. It's really good, especially compared to something like I have a MacBook Pro 2012, and that is worse than this. This is good. You can do 720p video recording, and then on the back you have an 8 megapixel camera, which is really actually helpful. So if you want to do some sort of school project video or something like that, you can film with this, and it's honestly not bad at all. Obviously, it's not as good as the iPhones, but you can do 1080p video recording no problem. So yeah, really helpful there. So the last thing that I want to mention is the software support. So the software support, yeah, like I said before, iPadOS 15 is the latest that you can get to this, which, yes, kind of sucks, but honestly, compared to iPadOS 16, you're not getting much more. And this will still be supported with like games and apps for a decent amount of years, 2 to 3 years. Apple's not saying that you're not going to get any updates. They're more saying that you're not going to get any major updates. So you're still going to get some sort of software support, most likely. So that's good. So, there's no security issues or anything like that. honestly, for 100 to 150 bucks, and I'm sure it will go down once, there's the news of, it spreads of basically that the iPad Air 2 isn't supported. This will degrade in price a lot, and this will be a steal, I'm sure, like in about 6 months to a year. This will be probably 75 to 100 bucks. Amazing deal. You can still watch Netflix. The watching experience, like I said, with the 9.7 inch laminated display is great. Really great brightness. Honestly, not much to complain about this iPad. Sure, there's some glitches. Sure, it's not getting the latest software update. Sure, is the performance the best? No, it's not the best. It's not, compared to the iPad Pro or something, but it's still good, and you can play most games pretty well. Minecraft you can play pretty well. Call of Duty you can play decently well on multiplayer. Not really on Battle Royale, but on multiplayer you can play decently well. Much better than any Chromebook or Android tablet could at this price point. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on about this iPad. This is great. If you want to check out any of these accessories that I have here, then you could just search up the Anchor keyboard for the iPad Air 2 and it'll show right up. You can search it up on Mercari or eBay and there will be a much better deal. I got this used. I actually got this yesterday, and it's honestly a fantastic deal. This is new from Amazon and it's honestly another great deal. You might be able to find cheaper ones, and if a lot of people actually have these laying around. So overall, this whole setup that I have probably costed me about 150 bucks, maybe 170, something like that. So yeah, and that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I haven't been uploading that much, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later.